Hey everybody, today we are going to talk about measures of central tendency. So our objective is to describe the central tendency of a set of data. Central tendency is a value that describes a data set by identifying the central position of the set. There are three types of central tendency that we're going to talk about, and those are mean, median, and mode. So first is the mean. The mean is the same as the average. Okay, so this is specifically the arithmetic mean that we're going to be talking about, and the arithmetic mean is the sum of a data set divided by the number of numbers within that data set. When do we use the mean to describe data? We use the mean when data is distributed evenly. And what that really means is that there are no outliers. Okay, so if we're talking about the mean salary of a group of people, let's say the salaries are $12,000 and $15,000 and $14,000 and $18,000 and let's say another $12,000. Okay, so there are some salaries and they're all bunched fairly close together. This would be a good time to use the mean. Now, what if you added a couple more people and one of them is making $90,000 and one is making $95,000? Well, now we have two numbers that are pretty far away from the others. Those would be considered outliers. So in this case, now with these two outliers, the mean might not be such a good measure of central tendency. So if there are no outliers, like these first several here, then mean would be good. But now that I've added these two outliers, not so much. So to find the mean of this data set, we are going to add all of those numbers together. So we're going to add 5 plus 4 plus, then we've got 4 5s, then we have 4 6s, then we have 4 7s, an 8 and a 9, for a total of 98. So the sum of the numbers is 98. So then we're going to divide that by the number of numbers. We had a 4 and then a total of 5 5s, so that's 6, plus 4 6s is 10, plus 4 7s is 14, 15, and 16. We've got 16 numbers. So it's 98 divided by 16, and that is 6.125. So the mean is 6.125. Okay, then we'll do this second data set. We've got 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 for a total of 127. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So 127 divided by 7 is 18.14, we'll call it 0.143. 18.143 is the mean of that data set. Next is the median. The median is the middle value. When do you use the median? You use that when there are outliers that would skew the mean. And that's actually the case up here. These two outliers are going to pull that mean way up higher than it really should in order to actually show the central tendency of this data set. So the median here would be a better central value for this set of data. So the median is the middle value. In order to find the middle value, the numbers have to be written in numerical order. In this data set, They almost are in numerical order, but not quite. So the 4 and 5 here actually have to change places. Now it is in numerical order. So to find the central value, I can cross one off from each side, one at a time. Now I'm stuck here where if I cross these off, I've got nothing left. And that's going to happen every time you have an even number of numbers. And we had 16 numbers in this data set. So we're stuck here with 2 numbers in the middle. Now here it's easy to tell the median is going to be 6. But what if these 2 numbers are not exactly the same? What we do to find the median is find the mean of these 2 central numbers here. So we would do 6 plus 6 divided by 2. And that's 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So if these 2 numbers were different from each other, we would have to do this. We would find the mean of the 2 numbers. When they're the same, it's just going to come out to that number. So the median here is 6. Now in set B, it's in numerical order, so I'll just cross off one from each end, one at a time. And see, now I've got only one number. Because it's an odd number of numbers, I'm just left with that one number, so the median here is 19. And our last measure of central tendency is called the mode. The mode is the most frequently used value. The most frequent value. When should we use the mode? We should do the mode when we want to know the most common option. So when we want the most common option. Okay, so if we want to know how people like to go on their vacations, maybe they like to take a car or a bus or a plane or a train. If we want to know which one is most commonly used, the mode would really make a lot of sense. If we want to know how much money most people at a particular company make, then we might look for the mode for that central tendency as well. So in this case here, the mode, the one that's used the most, 5, there are 5 of them. There's 4 6s, 4 7s, a 4, an 8, and a 9. 5 is used the most often. So it's 5. Now there can be more than one mode. If there was a tie, say there was only 4 5s, then 5, 6, and 7 would be the mode. But what if they're all used exactly the same number of times? If everything's the mode, then you would say there is no mode. Here, everything is used exactly the same number of times, so in this case, I would say there is no mode.